For the word of the Lord is upright, and all his work is done in faithfulness. By the middle of the week, things can start to feel a little uneven. Plans don't always go the way you expected. Things shift. People say or do things you didn't see coming. And before you know it, you're adjusting on the fly, trying to keep your balance. And right in the middle of that kind of reality, this verse brings things back to something steady. The word of the Lord is upright, straight, true, reliable, not bending with circumstances, not shifting depending on the situation. Upright. That means when God says something, it holds, even when everything around you feels a little off. And then it adds, all his work is done in faithfulness, not randomness, not inconsistency, faithfulness, which means that God isn't just saying the right things, he's doing the right things, consistently, intentionally, even when you don't fully understand what he's doing in the moment. That's the part that can be hard to hold on to, because we tend to measure things by what we can see right now. If something works out the way we hoped, it's easy to say, yeah, God is faithful. But when things don't line up, when something feels delayed, confusing, or just plain difficult, that's when doubt tries to creep in. You ever been riding on a road that looks smooth from a distance, but once you're on it, it's a little rougher than you expected? You start adjusting, shifting your weight, and gripping a little tighter, watching more carefully. But the road itself is still going where it's going. Your experience on it might feel uneven, but the direction hasn't changed. That's a small picture of this. God's word is upright. His work is faithful, even when your experience at the moment feels a little shaky. And this is where trust gets tested, not in the easy stretches, but in the ones where things don't quite make sense. Because you're deciding whether you believe God is still steady, even when life isn't. So when this lands in everyday life, it's less about figuring everything out and more about anchoring yourself to what doesn't move. When your week feels unpredictable, come back to what God has said. When your emotions start shifting, come back to what is true. When things don't look the way you expected, remind yourself, his work is still faithful. Not eventually, right now, even in ways you don't see yet. For the word of the Lord is upright. That doesn't change midweek. It doesn't adjust based on your circumstances. It stays the same. And sometimes that's exactly what you need. Something steady to ride on when everything else feels a little uneven. Well, we've made it to the hump day, halfway through the work week, folks. Hang in there and hang on to the Lord. I hope to see you here tomorrow. And until then, I'll be willing. Shalom, shalom.